Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fitting video. This time I decided to pick something that I have started playing again recently, which is the Gallente logistics suits. Now usually logis follow groups or stick to players with repair tools. That, however, in my opinion, leads to the logi's death way too often. This is due to having to constantly keep your eyes on the players you're repairing, the armor health bars of the group you follow, any kind of calls for ammo you might need, or to put uplinks down or something. Anyway, but you tend to forget the enemies. You tend to, gloss over those things, which means you can be taken by surprise way too often and end up struggling to stay alive, especially when your heavy starts to wander away from his or her support because you're in a follow scenario rather than a leading scenario. So what I did instead was I call it the Despicable Logi suit, but the reason it's despicable is because it's not something that's socially acceptable by most players. But anyway, it's designed to create focal points where players would naturally gather around at until the group is large enough to press the enemy's position. You do this by using the triage nanohives. Now, it's unusual, I know, but the benefit to using them is that players tend to stick to these areas, and it frees up the logi so he or she can throw grenades and use your primary weapons and get some kills. There's no reason to constantly keep a potential gun off the battlefield. Throw down equipment, get someone revived, throw up some uplinks, spawn someone in, and then get back to killing people. Now, since the Gallente logistics suit only has one weapon slot, I decided to use the Calciotto bolt pistol. It does have high damage, and the headshots are even worse, but it prevents the player from trying to become a pure Slayer logi. The point of the suit is to make yourself more aware, and if you have large clip sizes or long-range weapons, you'll tend to, try to actually use them in that manner. The bolt pistol only has a 4-round clip, even with an officer's 8-round clip, so you have to reload more often. You have to carefully pick your shots. You do not randomly waste your shots like I'm doing here. Yeah. Anyway, so the point of the suit is to make yourself more aware. After you put down your equipment or you fire your clip, and as you're reloading, spin around a little, take in the area and watch for approaching enemies or any kind of situation going on with your focal points. Sometimes you do need to make quick decisions. You either need to run away, throw a grenade, revive someone, see what you can do, basically. So you have to learn to start making some snap decisions sometimes because you're more of a leadership role. Of course, I do use the core locust grenade, but for the equipment, okay, I use the... Actually, I've changed it a little bit. I've used the Visium Flux drop-up link, which allows you for 2 drop-up links for fast spawns. And I also use a Wire-Comey Triage Nanohive, an Ishiko Engage Nanohive for ammo, and a Wire-Comey Nanite Injector. Because Proto, you might as well go Proto with a Nanite Injector, because that way you get these people back up fast with all of their health back returned at the same time, or as much as possible, I should say. I originally didn't have the Nanite Injector. I originally had an Alitech Nanohive for both reps and ammo, but the bandwidth requirement is too large, and you generally pop 2 to 3 equipment you put down. The Alitech and the Triage, so basically anything that repairs armor automatically has a bandwidth requirement of 8, and I'm stupid for doing that. Anyway, it has a bandwidth requirement of 8. What that means is that you will quickly use up your bandwidth of any suit. 2 Wire-Comey Triage Nanohives and 2 Alitech Nanohives would be 16 each, which means that's 32 total. Your Gallente logistics suit only has a bandwidth of 32, so you cannot use that. So that's why I put on the Nanite Injector rather than scans, because scans, generally you're going to know where the enemy is, and you're trying to create focal points, basically points where, there's one group of enemies versus another group of enemies. So scans aren't necessary unless, of course, you're being killed by, scouts too often. But I digress. To keep me alive, I use a combination of 1 complex armor plate, 2 complex ferroscale plates, 1 complex reactive plate, and 1 enhanced reactive plate. That's mostly because you're going to be using Nanite Triage Nanohives anyway, so you don't necessarily need reps too much. You're also going to be keeping to a single point more often, so you're not going to need any kind of cardiac regulators or anything like that, or even profile dampeners. So it's better just get some of the health with some reps in there. In the high slots, I use 2 complex sidearm damage modifiers and a basic power grid upgrade. This pushes my limits of CPU and power grid, so you will definitely need some sort of power grid upgrade, and in some cases even a CPU upgrade if you don't have your skills up as high as I do, which is highly possible. So, you know, maybe that's enhanced reactive plate you can take off. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I actually kind of like the suit, and I've been playing a lot of ambush matches with it, mostly because you don't have to worry about vehicles, less turrets kind of deal, and the enemies generally group up anyway, trying to get the last kill in. They're trying to, you know, they're all trying to get that kill. So generally you can do fairly well on it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, please put down in the comments below. As you can see, I do make a quite a bit of ISK and SP in return. Now, I did die 3 times here, but this is because of that stupid scout with the bond shotguns, and he lost 3 of those things. Usually, I actually go with only 1 death or 0 deaths. So, yeah, he lost 3 of those things. Look at that, 3 deaths. I got 900 points too. I almost got double his. Oh well.